Hello everyone, Daniel here and back again with another video, and then this time I am doing the WWE Backlash 2025 live in St. Louis, Missouri. We are going to be doing the review for that. So I'm going to get it out the way now. Let's get on to the first match. And the first match was the fatal 4-way match for the United States Championship. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and the United States Champion Jacob Fatu, they battled it out in that ring, and it was a really good match. Some very big high spots, and we just knew that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest were going to beat the hell out of each other in that match, in which they did. But by far the spot of the night was this Swanton Bomb from Jacob Fatu onto one of them. I can't remember which one. And then out of nowhere gets hit with a BFT from LA Knight, and then we had Damian Priest hitting LA Knight with a South of Heavens, and then Drew McIntyre gets back up and hits Damian Priest with a Claymore while Damian Priest is on his knees, and of course Damian Priest falls onto LA Knight, again getting the 2 count because Drew McIntyre was there to save it. But it was the end of the match where Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre end up going brawling into the crowd. Then they get on top of the equipment box, fighting back and forth, and eventually one eye gouge to Drew McIntyre from Damian Priest. And then, well, it was a one South of Heavens through multiple tables. That takes them out of the match. Meanwhile, back at ringside, we have Jacob Fatu being taken out by LA Knight, and suddenly this random new guy out of nowhere, I think his name is Jeff Cobb, one of the biggest free agents out there apparently. He looked like Jamal. He looked like a younger version of Jamal. I don't know if that's Jamal's son, but he looked like Jamal from, you remember Jamal and Rosie? He looked like him. But yeah, he came out, he attacked LA Knight because Solo Sikoa was trying to take him out, but of course that backfired. And that Jeff Cobb came out, he attacked LA Knight, he threw him back into the ring. Well, Jacob Fatu threw LA Knight back into the ring, I beg your pardon, and that's when it happened. He hit the moonsault and retained the championship, 1, 2, 3, and still United States Champion Jacob Fatu. He didn't look too pleased, but that he got help from Solo Sikoa and this Jeff Cobb, I think that's his name. But yeah, interesting, very, very interesting. Well, after that big, huge fatal 4-way, the next match was the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria defending her title against Becky Lynch, and this was a really good match. It was back and forth the entire time. But the ending of the match was a very good ending of the match. We had Becky Lynch in the middle of it all, exposing the top turnbuckle. And after everything, she threw a manhandle slam. She tried to cheat to win. She tried to put her in multiple arm bars, and even tried to get her disarm her, but could not put Lyra down. It was only after a reversal after another manhandle slam and a roll-up from Lyra Valkyria that she managed to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But, of course, Becky got pissed after the match and started beating her down and locked her onto the disarm her. So I think that this rivalry is not done yet. Congratulations on Lyra for retaining the title, but it's not over yet between these two, that's for sure. Very good match. I enjoyed it. This one not for the first time ever in a long time. I didn't have to look down my phone or look away for a women's match on pay-per-view. Very good match. Uh, but speaking of the Intercontinental Championship matches, as the men's Intercontinental Champion, Tony Dominic Mysterio defended his Intercontinental Championship against Penta. And again, it was a very good back and forth match. There was no cheating, there was no lying, cheating, stealing from Dominic whatsoever. However, we've had no lying, cheating, stealing from Penta, because of course he's not going to lie, cheat, steal. But there was from the Judgment Day, because here comes Carlito, Finn Balor, JD. JD was, well, he held Finn Balor, Penta, while the referee was being distracted by Carlito to say, hey, come on, hit him. But Finn was like, yeah, I can hit him, but I'll do something even better. I'll go and get the freaking chair. I'll whack him over the head with the chair. And he goes and gets the chair. The referee turns around. He catches him with the chair. He says, okay, listen, Finn, JD, Carlito, you and you, get out of here. And of course, that causes a lot of mayhem as we return to the action. But Finn Balor is refusing to go back to that stage. He gets back on the apron as Penta is ready to fly off the top turnbuckle onto Dominic Mysterio. And guess who comes out of nowhere? El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano using that metal plate underneath his mouth to headbutt Penta off the top rope. Then Dominic hits the frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Still the Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. Great match, though. Great match. And the next match was, well, not as short as I thought it was going to be. Pat McAfee taking on Gunther was actually a very decent match. Yes, Gunther still won, but not in the way that everyone thought. Pat McAfee actually put up a fight. However, I do wish he would have kept his shirt on, because, yeah, he was in great shape, but it was just not as good a shape as Gunther is, okay? He could have, if he would have worn his normal black vest or kept the shirt on, would have made a lot more sense, but he still got his ass kicked. But there was a lot of respect after the match from Gunther. But during the match, Michael Cole was very biased. He even admitted that he was going to be biased. Wade Barrett was on commentary, obviously, because, Pat McAfee was in action. And said that I'm not going to be as biased. He still wants Gunther to lose, and he still wants Pat McAfee to win. But he was like, no, I'm going to try and stay and do my job. But I'll give it to Pat. He gave it his all. But overall, even with Michael Cole's help at trying to hold down Gunther with his boot, it still wasn't enough. And Gunther made him go night-night. But again, Pat McAfee may have made him go night-night, but not for long, because he woke up, he saw that Gunther had beat him, he stood up, and you know what, Gunther gave him a little bit of a bow, says, hey, well done, you put up a great fight. Didn't say that exactly, but I could tell that's what he was thinking. But I feel like that's not the end of this. I feel like there's something brewing, between Gunther and the commentary team, but I'm not too sure. Might be the end of it, we'll have to wait and see. But hey, Gunther being a former world champion, he has plenty more title runs left in him. And well, so does the next person that I'm going to talk about. As the next person I'm going to talk about is the 14-time world champion, the hometown hero, Randy Orton. Now, if you ask me, Randy Orton should be standing in the middle of the ring right now as the 15-time world champion. But a whole lot of bullshittery happened And you know what? I like it. I like this one last stand, this one last hurrah for John Cena after being the undisputed WWE champion. I'll get to how he won and retained the championship in just a bit. But by God, up to the point of the ending of the match, it was finisher galore. RKO out of nowhere. From an attitude adjustment into an RKO. We had an attitude adjustment, from a reversed punt kick. We had an RKO from a punt kick attempt from John Cena. We had two table spots. One table spot that went correctly and one that didn't. We had a Randy Orton hitting the attitude adjustment onto John Cena onto the reinforced announce table. It didn't break, but then suddenly collapsed out of nowhere anyway. So Randy was like, you know what? I'm doing this spot regardless. The referee gets knocked out again for the second time in a match. And, he goes and puts John Cena through the table with another attitude adjustment. He throws him back in the ring. There's an RKO out of nowhere once again. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, freaking 10 count. Here comes another freaking referee running down to the ring. 1, 2, kick out as per usual. And this is where the shenanigans start. That referee gets knocked out by John Cena, who tries to attack Randy Orton with the championship. Because he tried to do it before, but got foiled by Randy Orton. That means that referee's taken out. Oh boy, oh boy. That's when everyone comes down to check on the referee in case he's got a concussion from the championship belt. I mean, talk about people being pissed. Randy Orton obviously pissed because he should have won the championship by now. And he's like, fucking hell, I'm gonna have to do it again. He RKO's Nick Aldis, who's just so happened to be standing in his way. He RKO's another one of the guys from the back. I didn't really quite look at who it was. I think it's one of the guys from the back. Then he hits freaking Davari with an RKO. He hits Hurricane with an RKO. He hits JB Noble with an RKO. He hits everybody with an RKO at this point. And even, oh man, the crowd is going ballistic. And, well, but then, oh my God, John Cena's in the corner. He is getting up. Randy Orton's lining up to do the punt. But then here comes freaking R-Truth. R-Truth, you dummy. You just stopped Randy Orton from becoming champion, so you get an RKO from your troubles too. And so, but then Randy Orton and he's irate. He should have just paid attention to John Cena, but he was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Stupid, 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 and all that type of bollocks. And speaking of bollocks, boom! Low blow from John Cena. Picks up the championship belt. Whacks him with wax Randy. That's easy for me to say. Whacks Randy Orton with it. And, well, referee somehow miraculously gets back in the ring as John Cena's pitting him. 1, 2, 3. And still, the WWE Undisputed Champion, John Cena. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For the 4 or 5 matches that were on the card, I would say 5 stars, maybe 4 stars because of the ending of the Randy Orton vs. John Cena match. And with the ending of the Becky vs. Lyra was a bit napped, so I'm going to take it to 3.5, I should say, and 1 thumbs up. So yeah, that was Backlash. And well, that was Backlash. I cannot believe what happened. It was, like I said, 3.5 stars for me. It was very awesome. I enjoyed every single match, and there were some outcomes that were unexpected. I don't know what's going to happen with the Judgment Day. I don't know what's going to happen with Becky and Lyra. I don't know if who's going to face John Cena next. Maybe it'll be R-Truth. That'll be great to see. Will Gunther finally say, you know what? I'm going back on my winning ways. I will give Pat McAfee where credit is due. Credit is due. He put up a good fight, but overall, I put him to sleep. But will he still be sour grapes? We shall find out on Monday Night Raw. I'm down 2 times 15 on Xbox Live, and I even think we're gonna be doing some predictions for Money in the Bank next. I think. But yeah, the next pay-per-view, bring it on. Until next time, goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this one, then feel free to watch the previous one. And if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the playlist that's on the screen now. Also, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.